stream process. And we are live. You okay if I go ahead and let people in?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to our Monday Tools call. Hi. Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing today? Awesome. Hello. We're going to kick things off here in just a minute. We'll give it a couple more minutes before we get started. Does anybody have any questions or anything that you need or want to ask before we dive in? Everybody good? I know many of you are on your certification journey. Is that going well? Okay. Awesome. Oh, that's good. Those are big nods. I'm excited to see that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get things started and just we're going to poke around the community for a minute. And then I'm going to hand the floor over to Chris, who is our speaker today. And he has some fabulous things to teach us. So get ready to learn. If you are new here in the community, the best place, and I know many of you, I don't know how long you've been in the community. I know a lot of you are just starting your certification process, but we're also streaming live right now on Facebook and LinkedIn and other places. So if anybody's watching, or you're watching the recording of this and you're a new community member, this new members area is where you want to begin. And there's a post here that will walk you through all of the steps. I also recently added this video tutorial where I'm here with you on your screen and I walk you through how to use each area of the community and how to make the most out of your membership. In a minute, I'll hop over to our events because we do have classes every day, sometimes twice a day. This evening, I'll go ahead and do that now. This evening, we have our AI governance class. Normally, this is a class that is a community discussion. It's led by Kristen Purdue, but this evening we have a special guest. So ML Secured, they are a governance business, AI governance business. They're going to be joining us. So I would highly, if you've never come to an AI governance class, attend tonight. Check it out. They will be there answering questions. I'm sure there's going to be a presentation, but there's a lot to learn. So if you click the events tab, you'll find this event and you can RSVP so that you'll get the reminder whenever the class starts this evening at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then just to review, right now is our Monday class. We always review a new AI tool, and then we go over a smart cut with you guys. The smart cuts are kind of our lead magnet, and it gives you a tutorial for the basic level of how to use certain AI tools. And then the instructor usually takes it on a deeper level, and you'll have the opportunity to ask questions as well. So that's every Monday. Our Monday classes are live, they are public. The rest of the classes throughout the week, with the exception of Friday, are for AI insiders only. So if you have a trial membership here, or if you are a member and you've signed up, you get access to all of the classes. And just let me poke on the calendar so that you can see. This is what our whole schedule looks like. You have an opportunity every single day to tune in to what's going on in the AI world, to learn something new. I personally am on every single one of these classes, and I also am relatively new to the AI space. I always learn something new. Like that is not an exception. It is not an exaggeration. And one of my favorite things about being in these classes is that the person leading them carries a lot of knowledge. They also come from their own domain and expertise. So they're bringing the knowledge of their industry. But we have so many different people in the community with different backgrounds and different realms of knowledge. And if one person has a question and somebody doesn't know the answer, there's somebody in the room who has the answer. So don't hesitate. If you're in one of the classes and you have a question, even if it's not pertaining to like what's being taught in that session, but it's general, maybe to like what you're navigating or what you're doing out in the world, ask the question. Don't try to figure it out on your own. Don't stay stuck in that space. There are a lot of people here who are very eager to help you get to the next step of wherever you're going. So definitely take advantage of the community if you are here. And let me just pop back over to this more appealing visual view. So on Tuesdays, we have Prompting Essentials with Segovia. This is a great place to give community feedback. And Segovia always goes over a prompting tutorial. So hands down, a really great class to attend. On Tuesday and Wednesday, we have the Using AI at Work Challenge, which you are welcome to attend. On Wednesday night, we have the AI Consulting Business Blueprint. This is great conversation to be a part of if you're out there connecting with clients, trying to bring new clients into your business. There's a lot of support around how to have those conversations and how to approach increasing your clientele. Wayne Clayton is the one who leads those. And then sometimes we also do AI tool demonstration in there as well. We have a workflow automation class, which Chris, who is here, he leads that class. That is a more advanced class. This week, it is pending on whether or not we are going to have this, but regardless of that, next Thursday and every Thursday following, we will be there. And it's an opportunity to learn some really cool stuff. On Fridays, Lee leads the CAIO live class. This is where we celebrate the wins of our clients. Like if you have a celebration, if you have a win as you've been working out there in the world and you want to celebrate it live with us, come and do that. The other thing that I love about this class is Lee has a segment on AI news. And I, again, learn something new every time in that class, but it's all like a world and country topics, how AI is leading the charge, changes that are happening, new technologies that are developing. It's very interesting to attend and listen to that. So those are our weekly classes, and you can access them by clicking events at the top of the channel. I'm just going to check the chat. The link for the 2-day challenge. Yes. Let me come over here and get you that link. It is chiefaiofficer.com/challenge. And I'm going to drop it in the chat for you guys. There you go. So since we're talking about the challenge, I'll go ahead and hop over to the affiliate program. If you are not an affiliate of Chief AI Officer, you can be, and I'll drop this link here. You're welcome, Carissa. You likely, if you sign up to be an affiliate this time, you're likely not going to move all the way through the approval process by tomorrow, but I think we'll have another challenge the next week after that. If you sign up as an affiliate and you get people to attend the challenge and then they sign up to get their Chief AI Officer certification, you can make up to 30% commission off of that sale. And so if you're looking to get your certification and you also want to fund that certification, being an affiliate is a really easy way to do that because it only takes a few people for you to get that commission and pay for your own certification. So I did drop that link in the chat if you want to sign up for that. And there's one more link that I will share. So if you are here watching this and you are not a part of our community, you can click this link /learn more, and you can get a 14-day trial of being in the community. And that gives you 2 weeks access to attend all of our classes to see what we're all about. So I highly recommend checking that out. Today, Chris is going to be diving into this SmartCut AI thought partner for business dealings. So I'll share this with you guys because you can download it, and it will give you access to all of the slides that he's going to go over today, which look like this. And Chris, I'm going to hand it over to you so you can go ahead and dive into your demonstration.
Thanks. Hey everyone, I'm Chris. I'm a Chief AI Officer and Fellow here in the community, and I'm also a software engineer and an IT nerd. So let's get started.
I know everybody's on mute, but I heard a round of applause when you said that.
So today we're going to cover on how to use ChatGPT for as your strategic AI partner. Many of you are familiar with Jeff Woods' book, The AI The AI Driven Leader, and he covers these techniques in his book. And I'm going to be I'll go through the smart cut, and then I'm going to do a little presentation on the book, and then I have a framework, and we'll run through a scenario at the end on how to use these techniques. So in this example, we're going to be covering contract negotiations, using ChatGPT to help you think through contract negotiations and using it as a thought partner in that process. So to prepare for that chat session, you're going to want to clarify negotiation context, objectives, and constraints. And that means collecting maybe some previous contracts that you had before, some previous experiences with those contracts, previous negotiations, any kind of context that you want to use in the conversation. You could attach those documents and those results to give AI some context into your conversation, in your thought process. So you gather all the relevant data, determine your limits, your financial limits. You want information about whatever partners are involved. So in some examples I've done before, I've included call transcripts or LinkedIn profiles. Also, ChatGPT is going to want to know about the market itself that you're dealing with. So you want to include any market research that you've done in that regard. I thought there was a ChatGPT setup part in here. Yeah, okay. So you're going to want to, if you don't already, you're going to want to have an OpenAI account, and you go to, I think it's actually chatgpt.openai.com. Anyway, you're going to want to go sign up for an account there. They do offer a free account, but the pro account gives you access to extra features that you're probably going to want to use in these sessions. Like you can attach files. You can even generate graphics. If you're putting together a presentation, you can have it generate your graphic files for your presentations. So in this example, you're going to, this runs through an example of a ChatGPT session, and this is the prompt that it's starting out with. So you want to start out by saying, act as my AI thought partner by asking me one question at a time. and then defining the situation, and you're going to role play the situation with ChatGPT. In this example, it's negotiating a business contract. And then you want to tell it what problem you want to solve. So in this example, it's getting to yes, where both parties are satisfied with the outcome. And then you want to tell ChatGPT to help you think through whatever the scenario is. In this case, they're just saying out of the box. So help me think through out of the box solutions in order to achieve whatever goal you're trying to achieve. So a successful agreement in this case within the context of a competitive market. So you basically would fill in whatever your context is here while considering financial capital limitations and leveraging our B2B sales contracts and key industry relationships. So that's how they're starting off the conversation. ChatGPT here is responding, understood, let's start, and then it's going to run through the questions one at a time. So the first question it's asking is, what does yes look like for you in this negotiation? Define the specific outcomes or priorities that would make this deal a win for your business. And then the person is responding to ChatGPT saying yes means achieving the deal that delivers fair pricing, a flexible timeline, and strengthens long-term collaboration without exceeding our budget. So basically, you want to go through the questions and respond, just walk through the questions in the conversation and respond appropriately. So the ChatGPT responds with got it, let's refine the approach. And then it asks another question. How much flexibility do you have on pricing, timeline, or scope? And where are you absolutely firm? Identifying your negotiations and non-negotiables will help clarify leverage points. So the person's answering that they have flexibility on the timeline if it leads to cost savings or high value. Pricing's critical, but we can consider creative payment terms like staggered payments, scope. A staggered payments scope can be adjusted slightly, but it must not impact deliverables tied to regulatory compliance or key performance metrics. Then Chat GPT responds with great insights. Let's explore creative layers. And then then it asks another question. How can you leverage the value of a long-term collaboration to incentivize the other party? For instance, offering exclusivity, repeat business, or co-branding opportunities. How might these appeal to them? So we're responding to the follow-up questions, and then we're encouraging ChatGPT to explore win-win outcomes by identifying creative concessions or solutions that meet both parties' needs. So then the next step is to ask ChatGPT to help you think it through, all the different possibilities for opportunities, and the conversation goes on. And ChatGPT is asking for more information. So it wants the value of long-term. It says to leverage the value of long-term collaboration. You could offer the other party exclusivity within a specific product line, ensuring their leadership in a target market. Additionally, you could include a repeat business discount model that rewards them for ongoing purchases or extended contracts. Co-branding initiatives might further enhance both brands' visibility and in new markets, driving mutual growth. So it's going to keep giving you suggestions, and then it moves on to the next question. What unique strengths or resources do you bring to the table that the other party values? but might not explicitly mention? Could these become bargaining chips to offset the financial constraints or secure favorable terms? So then you answer these questions, um, and then it gives you suggestions on how to position yourself during the negotiations. So it's going to continue to brainstorm here, and then it's going to draft a proposal summary. Let's look at this last one. So the person's saying we can present our B2B network as a gateway for the other party to access untapped revenue opportunities by introducing them to high value partnerships. Furthermore, we can frame our market and analytics as a bonus deliverable, emphasizing its potential to identify strategic growth areas for their business, thereby aligning with their long-term goals. So it's finding win-wins for both parties. And it's aligning with value-driven negotiation strategy. And then what potential it's it's asking the sixth question: what potential objections might the other party raise about your proposal, and how can you proactively address these concerns while staying aligned with your priorities? So it's having you think about objections here, and then you're going to answer those questions, and then it's looking at different outcomes, like if the party is hesitant, how can you create appealing risk reward balance? So it's having you think through all those outcomes, and then the users making suggestions on how to reduce perceived risk for the other party. Um, and then it's saying, please pause here to await further instructions as I review insights gathered so far. So the user is telling ChatGPT that. Um, so yeah, propose risk sharing mechanisms, like trial periods, opt out clauses, and validate their appeal using ChatGPT simulations. So now ChatGPT is saying, please take your time reviewing and let me know when you're ready to proceed. And then the user says, give me a breakdown of the current negotiation strategy to help identify blind spots. Please elaborate on any additional opportunities or risks I might be missing. So ChatGPT comes back with, based on the current approach, a potential blind spot is the lack of contingency planning for delayed decision making. Additionally, exploring alternative co-branding opportunities in untapped markets could diversify mutual benefits. Risk-sharing mechanisms could also be expanded to address broader concerns and financial uncertainties. So they're identifying blind spots here and coming up with a updated strategy based on that. And then it comes up with, after going through that conversation, it comes up with a negotiation strategy summary. So it's got proposed highlights and risk management strategies. And then we have some frequently asked questions here. Um, ChatGPT can handle highly specific industries. And then you want to anonymize your input wherever possible, so you're not identifying specific clients that you're sharing with ChatGPT. Um, and also, you don't want to share specific specifics about your company that you don't want used in other scenarios with other users. So anonymize wherever possible. And you can also role play. So you can have it assume a role of someone you're negotiating with. And it says, how does ChatGPT manage constraints effectively? Um, to manage constraints effectively, clearly define them up front in the prompt, such as budget limits. So before you even start the conversation, you're going to want to include all that information as background information, including your budget information. And how often should I update AI during the negotiation? You want to do it after each strategy session. So you could continue the same thread, continue the same conversation each time, or you could start fresh with a summary from the previous conversation. So I do have the link to this smart cut that I'll drop in
I
the
dropped it
chat.
in the chat already.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Curtis did have one question. He asked what is the basis for the chat GPT response? But he asked it a while back, so I don't know if maybe you already covered that. Curtis, you're welcome to come off mute if you want to ask.
Yeah, I don't think that was in the on the smart cut.
Yeah, so there's some great, by the way, I don't know who did this, but it's excellent. Started out with that. So there's obviously some continuity in the thought processes. A few things that come to mind. Um, Perhaps maybe one is what type of what type of prompt this is, if we might just kind of anchor the foundation of just prompting in general, and then where the context has came from. Was there um, a knowledge base provided that provided some maybe best case framework negotiation, a PDF or some reference document? How did ChatGPT come up with the responses? That make sense, Chris?
Yeah, that's context I don't have. I mean, it just starts with this prompt, but I don't know what context they included.
Okay. Um, okay, so that's interesting because this was actually really well done. There's like Alex Karras, who's considered a top-notch um, negotiator and such. I could envision a construct of this where there's maybe a couple of PDFs or reference sources that might say mimic this guy's style or refer to this approach, whatever, this negotiating framework as a reservoir, like a RAG, or maybe I just call it a reservoir of data to mirror and to incorporate. That's kind of what's coming to mind. And then I think actually I'm pretty shocked if this was the responses. It was pretty darn good. If it was just ChatGPT and coming back with its reasoning. And then last one is which model this was, if it was 01, if you know those things.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know, but I think the best one would probably be um, O1 Mini because it does the chain of thought prompting and
Hmm.
it's provides fast responses. So it's gonna do the thinking out loud, and you'll be able to see the thinking happening while it's doing it. Um, and then it also comes up with a strategy that you can see while you're using it. So
Hmm.
I would use actually O1 might be fast now. It used to be really slow. You'd do a response and then it would take probably a minute to reply, but I think they've sped it up. So for those of you who don't know the difference between O1 and GPT 4o, for example, GPT 4o would just go through its background training and it would come up with the end result without actually doing any thinking or reasoning. The new O1 model, which isn't really new anymore, it'll actually go through the process of reasoning and thinking and coming up with a strategy. So that's probably And then O1 Mini is the smaller version of that. It also does the chain of thought prompting, reasoning, and thinking, and it actually shows you the process it's going through while it's doing that. So it's actually trained on the process rather than the result. The other models are trained on just the result. So you can't actually see what reasoning was done to get to that end result, whereas the O1 models allow you to do that.
Hmm. Okay, super. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you for your question, Curtis. And also just keep in mind that these Monday classes, those who volunteer to step in and host it, I'm giving them a smart cut from our database and asking them to walk through it. So this was very much the first time that Chris has seen that, and it's put together by our team. But what he's about to walk you through will take you more in depth. So just know that any smart cut that you download from us is always very basic, very entry level to get you started with the tool. And there's always going to be another level that you can take it to, in your own practice.
Okay. So I know a lot of people in the program have read this book, and almost everybody has it on their desk. I keep it on my desk. And he goes through these. He's got 6 different prompts, basically, that allow you to use ChatGPT or any LLM as your thought partner. And I'll go through those prompts, and then I'm also going to show you a framework that I created from all of those prompts. I actually created a GPT that has the book in it that allows you to, it basically breaks down those 6 prompts, and you can combine those with some other prompts to get some pretty good results.
Wow.
And if anybody has a scenario they'd like to go through, we can do that once I go through that framework. So if any of you guys want to walk through that on this session, let me know, and we can walk through your scenario. So Jeff says the difference between growing your business and going out of business is your ability to think strategically, and that's what the book is all about. It's about using AI to help you think strategically, and he uses it for all of his strategic sessions and his quarterly planning sessions. And he's created a mastermind of people that they all do this, and it's all driven by this book.
I'll volunteer, Chris.
Okay. So the first,
Go ahead.
let me run through these, and then we'll do that at the end, Curtis. So the challenge. So the first one is the challenge biases and assumptions, and this is the prompt for it. And so you attach your strategic plan, and it says, "I want you to act as my AI thought partner." I just realized he has that trademarked, but it's trademarked for software as a service, so I think we're okay here. So I want you to act as my AI thought partner by asking me one question at a time to challenge my biases and assumptions we've made. I also want you to challenge if our plan has the sufficiency to achieve our goal. Once you have enough information, give me a summary of where you think our plan is strong and where you see potential weaknesses, and recommend ways to improve it. So you want to use this during strategic planning to identify blind spots and make data-driven decisions. Use this early in your process to refine and validate your strategy. So all 6 prompts have this. I have a slide for each one of these. There's one for generating solutions. I want you to act as a thought partner by asking me one question at a time. Here's the situation. You give it the situation. Here's what I'm trying to solve, and then you insert the problem. Please help me think through potential solutions. You're going to want to use this when tackling specific challenges. Use this prompt to engage AI as a brainstorming partner, and then you use this for any problem-solving stages. The third one is use cases. AI use cases. So I'm new to AI and unsure how it can help me. Interview me by asking me one question at a time to identify how you can help me. That's a really simple one. That's probably if you're trying to get people on board with AI initiatives, this is probably the first prompt you're going to want to use um, to get them immediate results. So you use this at the start of your AI journey to identify potential applications. So this is people who might be skeptical. It's a good way to get them on board and get them a first win or give them an aha moment. The strategic thought partnering one we just went through. Um, and then for quarterly planning, this one is here are the priorities we want to focus on this quarter. What initiatives should we focus on to align our short-term actions with our long-term vision? And you apply this to ensure alignment between immediate actions and overarching goals. So if you have long-term goals, this is going to help you meet or match those long-term goals. Use this at the start of your planning cycles. Number 5 is iterative improvement. So the prompt is, this is our current workflow for whatever process and task you have. Where do you see opportunities to automate, streamline, or enhance using AI? For the use case for this is to optimize operations or processes. Automation's a big one. So for each of your employees, you could have them use this one to identify repetitive tasks that they do every day that they hate, so that they can spend time on more productive things. And you want to apply this during process evaluations or improvement sessions. And the last one is building a light bulb moment. Help me reframe this challenge in a new way to uncover opportunities that I might be missing. So this would be a brainstorming session, and you could use this to identify things that you hadn't thought of. This is a really powerful one. So you want to use this to build your own understanding of AI's potential and inspire your team, and then use it during the early stages of personal or team AI adoption. This is a really powerful one for creating products, enhancing existing products. And then in conclusion on the book, you're basically you want to read the book to build stronger data-driven strategies, and then start with a simple one. And like I said, the simple one here would probably be this one. And then this, it amplifies your strategic capabilities and establishes AI as your thought partner. So I have a GPT that I created from the book. I have a PDF of the book, and I did buy the book, so I'm not going to publish this publicly, but basically what I did is I told it, based on the structure of the book, let's see. Oh, I had it build a framework, a flexible framework from those 6 use cases, and it created this. So we've got all those prompts, but it also gave me some additional instructions we could try. So here's the ask one question at a time one. Then you could highlight potential biases, summarize where you see strengths and weaknesses. So these are kind of enhancing the original prompts. Ask clarifying questions, provide creative, practical solutions, rank those solutions by impact and feasibility. Here's the ask one question at a time again for this use case one. Oh, suggest specific AI applications or tools. That's a good one. And explain how these suggestions can be implemented so it can help you with implementation. That one we covered. Analyze how priorities can align with long-term vision. Identify gaps. That was actually I think that was in the smart cut. Propose specific next steps. So you could add those to any of the prompts that are in the book to do follow-up statements. Break down the steps of this workflow into components, identify inefficiencies, bottlenecks, or areas for automation, recommend specific AI-driven improvements and how to implement them. So another implementation one. And then help me identify small actionable steps to increase confidence and build momentum. Celebrate wins and provide motivational insights. That's a good one. And then highlight potential obstacles and strategies to overcome them. And then it created a universal prompt structure. Curtis, this might answer your question. I think you said, what kind of prompt is it? It follows this framework. So you define the role, give it the context, and then give it 2 to 3 steps, and then use one of these enhancements. So you want to try one, Curtis?
Yeah, can I ask a favor? Do you mind going back to the fifth one really quick? The one just before it? I didn't get to eyeball that.
Workflow optimizer.
Okay. Okay, wow. That's cool. Okay. Yeah, I'd love to. I think this is really cool, actually. Super, super cool. Just whenever you're ready, tell me where you would like me to start. And I guess we're 21 minutes to the top of the hour, so I'm going to try to do this reasonably quick. So
Okay.
if I get long-winded, Megan, you'll have to kind of come up with a response to slap me on the wrist.
I'll sound the buzzer. I'll sound the buzzer.
Thank you. All right, so tell me where we should start, I guess, is maybe the first thing.
So what do you want to accomplish?
I want to validate let me go back to the original question, the first one, and first and foremost, because I think that's attaches our strategic plan, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I don't know if we're going to type this or I should record it, but the primary question is my vision is a business that will transform healthy homes to healing homes. And the ICP for that is comprised of two people. One is a household with a distressed member of the home and with some sort of chronic disorder or such. And then secondarily is somebody who's taken a proactive outlook on their home and wanting to just transform it into, at minimum, a healthy home. The thought partnership is just to kind of, I think in starting out, validate. Can you go to the number one and then I can at least kind of follow the correct? Yeah, I'd like to actually kind of challenge. The assumptions are effectively that the likelihood is the person with the distressed household member will be more inclined to want to do something about their home environment and effectively looking at perhaps seeing what I might be missing at the start and onset in terms of how I organize that conversation for all the rest that's going to follow. So,
Okay, so what the problem statement is?
Validate the healthy homes to, it's going to be a little harder to do this, I guess. Validate here's the problem. Distress, I guess it'd be a lot easier if I typed it up. I have it, but it's probably not going to fit inside of a 15-minute window. Okay, so we'll at least get this part. Just the problem is the bigger premise is homes are not healthy for the most part. That's the underlying assumption. The vision is to transform homes to a healthy home and then healing home. The ICP is comprised of two. There's a distressed household member with a distressed health condition. And second one is somebody taking a proactive effort to just transform their home. The underlying assumption is that a person that's in a distressed household member.
Oops.
Okay, oh, there we go. See what it
Sorry.
does. Okay.
I didn't finish.
Oh, that's okay.
Hang on a second.
No, that's a great response.
Um, let me
And I would actually add, if you would add an edit to the top, it would cover all the aspects of a home, not just one.
cut this. Try
Okay.
this again here. So the ICP, distressed household member with a health condition, and then the home's not healthy,
Right.
is not a healthy environment.
Correct.
And then what else were you saying?
I think and this might actually answer some of the question, the approach is to provide a survey whereby the ICP has the ability to assess the health status of their home, and the service offering is to provide a systematic approach to do that transformation via a services and product roadmap, an offering of services and product roadmap. Hopefully that's not too big. And it covers all aspects of the home. So they're asking
Systematic approach to
systematic and to transform the home.
do we want it based on their condition?
No, that will play into it, but it's really the bigger premise is that a person in a particular distressed state will at least be prompted and motivated to want to investigate the status of their home. And then fundamentally, when I say a systematic approach is to that would play into it, but for the purpose of this, and I guess we could take the underlying assumption that, yeah, the person's health condition might play into it. But to answer your question, um, and when I say systematic approach with products and services, there is, um, yeah, providing a systematic approach to try with products and services based on, yeah, there you go. Be interesting to see what it says.
How are you defining healthy and healing? It's not asking me one question at a time, though. Let's make sure it does that.
And I actually have that defined. So I guess I could see where it might be helpful if it's asking that question to actually, and actually there is a measurable framework. I have so that's actually really good. Just based on that alone, it's not going to work if I don't provide some context around what constitutes a standard.
What evidence or data do you have that the ICP would find a survey valuable or motivated to complete it? That's interesting.
Yeah, that's good though. I mean, this is again, like you say, it's meant to explore where I might not have thought of. And I do have some data points for that. I can provide data for various issues in the home,
Do you
but
have a
I don't.
short answer?
I would say that I would model the survey against recognized. I don't want to say industry standards, but that might be the only way I could come what comes to mind. So I would be providing some basis for people to actually have some way to score this. I guess simple example like water, simple example, Most water is pretty bad. Oh, look at that. All right.
Are you confident that recognized industry standards account for the unique needs, preferences, and lived experiences of your ICP, or might they reflect a generalized perspective that doesn't fully align with the distressed household members?
Wow. That's good. I would say it would be a generalized perspective. Water is water is water, as an example. Toxins in the home, mold, um, uh, products, those are, I think, yeah, yeah, water, toxins, mold, there's, yeah, that's probably okay. Let me see what it does with that. Here's my next question. Oh man, that's funny. All right. It would be done via a scoring system with weighted averages to capture um, that's probably to provide a level, I guess I might call it a health level and recommended steps to address it with curated products and services. I'm glad my question
Blind
makes
spot.
sense. Good questions, man. This is good. I actually had this all written up, but now I'm gonna have to think about this. How would I ensure various severity rather than treating all risk equally? Hmm.
You know, you could also do this. You could say, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Help.
So I don't have to be more clever than ChatGPT.
No
Oh,
worries. Here
that's
you go. I solved your problem for you.
hmm.
So now it's offering to create the framework.
Wow. Sure.
How are we doing on time, Megan?
We have about 10 minutes left.
Yeah, and I actually have something like this, so that's really interesting. It went that direction. I bet I did it really the hard way. I mean, I didn't get a lot of feedback from ChatGPT. I just barreled barreled through it. So this is much easier. Hmm. Wow.
Is
Yeah.
it similar to what you did, Curtis?
Was that you asking the question, Don?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, it aligns. I would characterize it as probably being, um, because there's lighting that's not taken into consideration. There's the materials of the home. There's a various range of different topics. There's lighting. Um, so it kind of covers it, but at the same time, I think I would have to sit down and look and see what it said, look and see what I said, um, to align it. But yeah, this is brilliant. And I think actually what's really helpful seeing here is just the level of importance. And I'll just give you a quick context in health, in the context of health. Water, first first thing is get rid of your toxins. And the second thing is usually the first category is water. So those are two sequential steps that people should be taking anyway, but most people don't even ask the question. So when somebody's in a distressed state of health, you go to the doctor and you come home and you're sitting there doing all this stuff to get better, and then all of a sudden you walk into your home, you're sitting on a couch you got on sale that has loaded with VOCs and compromising your health. So the idea is to align your personal health journey with your home um, environment. And then I think COVID-19 was clearly a massive wake up call to everybody about taking into consideration their home, right? All of a sudden they're stuck. They had to figure out how to get along. That was number one first.
Right.
Did they like each other, you know? And then the second part was realizing just how important the significance of, you know, just their environment. And I think it raised the awareness substantially, which is a bit of the inspiration behind this. And in addition to the fact, my own
No,
personal health.
I'm always interested to see like how close is it to like something you manually put together? Like, is it on
Yeah.
the right path?
Oh, 1000%. I would say honestly, Chris, you could have saved me a lot of time next week. I think we didn't talk. I mean, thanks for nothing. But in all seriousness, what I like about what I see here is, you know, one of the reasons I asked about how this prompt was created is because I would say one of the things and I still to this day have lost so much time is honestly not knowing the foundation of what I'm doing and banging away and trying to be logical and ask good questions. And if you do that right, you really have such a substantially different workload and stress level trying to answer questions at, like, you know, the infamous ask a generic question. Guess what? You're going to get a generic response. Um,
Garbage in,
so
garbage out.
yeah, something to that effect. And then if you're lucky and you have somebody like Chris on the call, he just does all the work, types it up for you, and you just, you know, watch him, and then we all get to sit here and go, yes, this is all worth it. Anyway, thank you, Chris. I think maybe just for the sake of and can I get this prompt if you don't mind? Just I would
Sure.
like to continue this and see what it does, and I'll share the results later. It's my IP, so if anybody runs off with it, I will find you, whether you're in Michigan or New York. I'll um, but yeah,
So had
brilliant.
you thought about temperature and humidity?
Not in the way that they're characterizing it, because as an example, when you go to a healing home, you would incorporate something like a far infrared sauna for sweating. So that's an interesting point. Ventilation is important when you consider air quality, and you've got vents and such in your home that are likely filled with dust and mold and crap. You don't even know it. How do you mitigate that? You know, there's just so many things that aren't in front of our face, but it's interesting they posed it. I don't know that I would have seen it, and that EMF is another one,
Wow.
um, and so on. So yeah, this is really good. I mean, it's done a brilliant job. And part of what
So
I'm doing here, Chris, is obviously, you know, we had a little bit of conversation around this, and I'll come to you later on that. This is the explosion of what you and I had a chat about a couple of weeks back. You'll see more of it though. Pretty
so
cool, actually.
my next question is what kind of products can we create?
So that's a great question. It's products and services are really kind of in effect it's a curated. So, you know, so the scenario might be, the user journey might be, here's the scenario, and you get the score, you get the surveys, the mechanism for call to action, get a scorecard back, something that validates and verifies what the person's actually dealing with, but doing it in a systematic level and having kind of a level of maturity, level 1, 2, 3, 4, thereby allowing a person to kind of follow a curated journey. So the first and easiest thing to do would be to detox your home and then maybe buy some plants for air quality and then perhaps explore water. That'd be like a level 1, and you'd have a series of preferred vendors and products, and put that into a predefined shopping cart, like, you know, like Amazon. Some logistics and challenges to figure out, like how do you have all these items arrive, and then have a customer success component where a person would, you know, there'd be a person in the loop that would reach out to verify and validate the implementation plan for the person, and then, you know, kind of have a social media drip system that would say, hey, you know, you reached level 1, you know, are you ready for level 2? And this is what that looks like. Tell us what your new situation is. We'll give you an updated score. And the real key to this, though, is to try to have a facilitated journey. I think all of us look for, you know, a journey. That makes sense. You know, it's hard to figure out where you're going well, let me just say it this way. When you think you know where you're going, being given some good directions to know how to get there in a way that you can actually do. Oh, look at that. Is it taking my stuff here right now, or is it listening
No,
to me? What?
no, but it's funny. I think it's prompting you to say what you're saying.
Oh my God, that's a trip. Is it taking my audio, my recording, or is
No,
it?
no,
Oh,
it's not.
that's trippy.
But I did.
Wait a
I
minute. Did it just do that?
you saw me prompt, right? I said,
Yeah.
give me a list of products. Can you help me identify what products and services could be offered to address these? And it just gave me a whole list.
Man, that was good. So anyone who didn't, that wasn't staged. That was Chris and I figuring something out about 10 minutes. Anyway, anybody who's new on the phone, but we're not that good of actors. You look at Chris's face.
Yeah, you saw me struggle through the slides. I'm not that good.
So really good stuff. Chris, I love this. I'm gonna let you finish up the call, Megan. Can you believe that? I actually am not gonna make you go late.
Thank you. That is so appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah, great demonstration. Thank you, Curtis, for being our guest today and walking through that with Chris. Chris, there were several comments asking if you can share what you did in ChatGPT and your slides in the comments of the recording when it's posted.
Yeah, sure.
That'd be okay. Awesome. There was like 3 or 4 different people who requested. Is there anything else that you want to share before we wrap up?
No, I'm good.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time today. Thank you guys for joining us. Every Monday, we have a call like this where we walk through a smart cut and then go a little bit deeper with that tool. If you need me, you can find me in the Circle community. My name is Megan. I am the community coordinator here at Chief AI Officer. And if you need anything at all, help finding something, or you have a question, please just feel free to message me. And we'll see you if you are an AI insider or you are a chief AI officer tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. We have an AI governance class with a special guest. I highly recommend you join us for that class just so you can tune in and gather that information. It's going to be super valuable. You'll find the link inside of the community under the events tab. And if not, we'll see you tomorrow, Tuesday, for Segovia's prompting call. But we appreciate you guys being here. And I hope you have a good week. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Megan. Hey, Chris, I
Thanks.
sent you a note if you could see it.
Okay.